The installer just said keep an eye on it. So I have a list that started today.
Oh, shitty weather. It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
Oh, another episode of the 8-Bit Bros. Not a kid-friendly show. Adult language, adult content. Who the fuck knows where we're going to go or what we're going to do.
Football.
It won't be football. Do the right thing. Put your kids in the closet.
Welcome back to another fun-filled fact debacle. We like to call the 8-Bit Bro Show. Thank you, Mr. Tom Gully, for lead-ins. Hopefully we give some lead-outs. Center box gets a square. Friend of man. Call him Ren. That's what we all call him.
What up, people?
To the left, me, my people, web boy. That's what everyone calls me.
You and Ranger Rob.
Yep, me and Ranger Rob. I got a little dog looking down at me, or up at me, or somewhere at me. And to the right, 846 miles south. The one and only. Bumping loud. Remember to hit his button tonight.
Yay, progress.
A good start.
Yeah, well, there's no football to talk about, so we're off to a great start.
I can't wait for the show. Thank the big man upstairs.
We may be looking at a late February, early March release of our 31 Bugatti Victoria Royale.
Ah, a little bit early off the production line. All right. Who paid for the first order? Was that me or you? I'm not sure.
Outside purchaser.
Outside purchaser.
1.6 mil.
1.6 mil.
No, 5.7 billion.
Oh wow. That's why we're not.
I was just.
You put up 1.6. I only put up 1.3, and this guy comes in with 5.7. I mean, what the fuck?
The 1.6 million number just popped into my head. I watched Barrett Jackson last weekend, this weekend, whatever the fuck weekend it was. And they had two cars sell. They had the GT40 sell for big money, 2.1 mil or something like that. And the first Toyota Supra 2020 to roll off the assembly line. And serial number 20201. Sold for $50,000 car. $50,000 car.
Sold for 1.6
or something like that. Yeah. Charity.
Yeah, it was good
very
stuff.
Weird, though. It's very weird. You never see any car company get rid of serial number 1. Never.
For the right reason, it made its way out to public.
Yeah, I mean, usually they museum it and then auction it off 35 years later with a every production model ever made every year. I mean, the Supra's what? Got about 8 years, 10 years, something like that. Unless you want to include the Celica years
Yeah.
when it was a Celica / Supra. But I just thought that was very 1.6 million for a first model off the assembly line that you could buy in the store for 50 grand. Ain't going to help the car value of that vehicle, but still a BMW. But yeah, so the Bugatti's coming along nice. Do we have any more picture updates?
I can get you one. We got the firewall, dash assembly, floorboard with gas pedals, brake lever, shifter, all installed.
Did you go in and paint little tiny dots for where, like, the gas and the, like hot water, cold temperature, or were they decals to put in? Or
Everything has been attended to.
I need some close-ups now. Maybe a shot through the car window door. Well, there won't be any doors on. No windows. That's that Roadster, right?
No side windows. It's got a
right,
front
so
windshield. It's got a front windshield and a top canopy.
Yeah.
Is it a real ragtop, or is it a plastic ragtop?
It's a plastic ragtop.
Can we do an upgrade?
Sure.
I know seamstress.
You can. You don't even need a seamstress. You can easily go to like any crafting store, like Michael's, and buy some shit and just spray glue it on top. And
I would like to have a rigid frame on the inside of it, and based on the carriage section that they've given, I wouldn't be able to go in and attach the rigid frame like it needs to be.
Okay. Yes, I get you with your puppy bowl, but it's the boycott bowl now. Brian O'Brien.
Go Apollos.
So did you hear?
Go Apollo.
Go Apollo.
He's already pimping his team. I like it.
Yeah.
He's embraced what was given to him, and he's rolling with it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
So we all know the city of New Orleans is still pissed.
Yes, they even put up a billboard that...
There's 8 or 9 different billboards.
I was like, the people from all over Louisiana have been paying for billboards in Atlanta.
This is how pissed that city is. February 2nd, Super Bowl Sunday. A good portion of the bars will be showing the 2010 Super Bowl in place of the 2019.
Wow, and I'm sure they're going to be slammed and nobody's going to be bitching.
Right?
Nobody's going to care down there.
Well, nobody except for the people who are probably the tourists in town.
Yeah, I want to go catch the game. Oh, wait, look. Wait.
Yeah, sorry, you're in the wrong city for that shit.
Guess what? I think the Hilton on Canal Street is showing it. You can go over there.
Right? I get it.
Yeah.
No football.
But it's
anti-football.
It's time to get over it, old people. It's just time. So we had the Hall of Fame ballot the other day for baseball. We didn't get to talk about it this year because we got so wrapped up in football, especially as avid bettors and predictors. I did want to, and we did touch on it the other night, but I did want to bring up a few things out of the list. And it used to be that we had breaking information on all that, but now with the internet, everybody's got the spreadsheet at this point.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about Barry Bonds and Clemens, at least I mentioned it, that their votings went up and have gone up over the last few years. They're poised in a position where maybe by year 9, year 10 on the ballot, final years, they can get in.
Maybe.
The numbers have gone up. I mean, they're up to 61.3 of public and anonymous balloting. Some people will not put their ballot out there at all. This is now up to 313 out of 442 eligible ballot casts. So it's grown. You need 317 votes for 75% get you in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Okay. 195 from the public and anonymous voting. It's 61% of what was known. Total, 54%. 56, 57, that's somewhere around there, 56, 57%. Then there is Sammy Sosa, who's in that same group, right? 6 years on the ballot, steroid era, 29 votes this year. Sorry, man. I know he was a Cubby, but 29 votes. Like, what happened all of a sudden? No love for him anywhere.
Well, I think Ren alluded to it when we brought his name up the last time. It's not only was he involved in what is a kind of contaminated era of baseball, but he is not even remotely close to the person that left baseball. Like, he Michael Jacksoned on baseball.
Yeah. Big time. Big time. So Sosa had how many votes this year? Is he still on? He's not still on the ballot. 26 this year for a 10.2 of the public voting. He wound up with 36 at 8.5% of the vote, where the year before, about the same. 33 public votes.
Yep.
Roger Clemens had a few more final votes than he did last year. He's at that 250 point. And there's a good possibility. I mean, 65%, 66. See what happens. I think they may get in. And then that shuts up all you steroid fuckers or gives you something else to bitch about for.
It's just something else to bitch about, really.
You know, I mean, unless they try and put Andrew Jones in over Clemens or Bonds. It's funny, though. I had this conversation with quite a few people today asking this Roy Halladay. Not the greatest stat numbers as a pitcher. Not the greatest stat numbers as a pitcher. But his accolades obviously got him into a first ballot Hall of Fame vote. He's got 240 wins, but 160 losses. And his ERA is 3 point something. I mean, it's not great numbers. And then Mike Mussina, right? Then there's Mike Mussina also, who gets in. Not the greatest numbers. And how does Andy Pettitte get overlooked? If you're going to put Roy Halladay in on accolades, because he did not have the best career, go look it up, baseballreference.com or whatever site you use. Go look up his career stats. He got about as many votes publicly as he has wins, give or take 6 or 7. But like I said, then there's someone like Andy Pettitte. Accolades? A young winner. Hall of Fame winner. World Series winner. Multiple. Not one. With 2 different teams over a 16-year career. But multiple. Did he go to the World Series with Houston?
Pettitte?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
I don't know. I don't remember offhand. But how many times with the Yankees?
Plenty.
How many they win? Plenty. Just seems, Andy Pettitte gets 42 actual votes.
As a first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Wow.
So.
He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
First
time on the ballot.
First time on the ballot.
To get in.
Yeah. Mussina took 6 years.
No, he played with Houston from 2004 to 2006. Do not believe Houston was good enough to...
That's when I want to be...
Pettitte returned to form in 2005 and helped the Astros make their first trip to the World Series.
Ta-da!
2 what? What was his ERA? 2 point what?
2.39 ERA.
2.39.
Career best. And second in the NL behind his teammate. Anybody have a...
Schilling?
Nope. Roger Clemens.
Oh, right. Clemens, right. Those are the 2 years they played together.
They also played together in New York.
Well, yeah, I meant outside of New York is where I was thinking in my head, but it didn't come out of my tongue. Manny Ramirez. 3 years on the ballot.
Not going to get in.
97 votes.
Huh? You might get in.
Nah, you need fucking 318. 319 to be exact.
How many votes did Mariano get at 100%?
All of them.
Which is how many?
425.
So there's 425 people that have
him as
power.
First, yes.
Have the power.
Yes.
to put someone in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, here's everybody who can vote right here.
Yeah,
this is everyone.
I remember the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Anybody who can vote is right here.
I remember this.
And their affiliation, so you can check them out to make sure they're just not some fucking idiot sitting in their parents' basement on Twitter placing votes. These are all accredited people that have something or anything to do with baseball.
Well, okay, here. Andy Pettitte, 3-time All-Star.
3-time All-Star.
5-time World Series champion.
That's 5 rings. That's Tom Brady.
1996, 98 to 2000, and 2009. ALCS MVP in 2001.
Yeah.
AL wins leader in 1996. New York Yankees number 46 is retired, and he has a monument in Monument Park.
All right, so 3 All-Stars, 5 World Series, that's 8. ALCS MVP is 9. And what was the other one?
He's the wins leader from 96.
So he's got 9 accolades to his.
And that's not including any Gold Gloves or anything else he might have gotten.
That's it. It's all right there. That's his career highlights and awards. Okay, 9. Holiday has 7.
But Holiday died in a fiery crash in the Gulf of Mexico. That's why they're putting him in there.
And what? Now. Yeah. See, you just went down the wrong fucking path because
in memoriam, they put him in there.
Yeah,
for his career.
In memoriam for 35 fucking years. Where's Thurman Munson?
Okay, maybe that deserved the.
He can't get in. He can't get in.
Why? He can get in on the old timer ballot.
No old timer ballot. He can get in on an honorary. You know what? Yeah. He should have been in 25, 40 years ago. So
I'll tell you what, we'll
put him in.
I went to the Baseball Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown.
And they've got a monument there for him, don't they?
Well, they have a whole lot to do with Thurman Munson up there in the whole little that era of baseball.
Did that in the 80s as a kid and was blown away. Even said to my dad, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He is.
But he is.
In memoriam.
They have his entire fucking uniform in there. They have his glove. They got his bat. I mean, they've got it in case.
His name's not there as
not part of
the
class.
hall.
Yep. So all the baseball recognizes it. I mean, the Hall of Fame is supposed to be where you want to fucking finish your career in that Hall of Fame. I mean, he's there. And then I get, on the other hand, well, he only played 9 years, and you got to play at least 10 years. Died in August. In year 10. August. September. October.
He played 11 seasons of Major League Baseball.
Died in the... yeah, okay. Rookie year don't count. It wasn't a rookie. Yeah, it wasn't a rookie year.
He played 11 seasons in Major League Baseball.
Look at his first year. He got like 12 at-bats.
I don't know if they're going to get that granular.
Yeah, he got very little at, but drafted in.
His accomplishment: first all-time singles in a World Series at 9. 10th all-time batting average as a catcher at 292.
10th all-time, 292.
11th all-time postseason batting average at 357. 11th all-time caught stealing percentage. You don't really want that one.
Take his first year.
16th all-time on-base percentage by a catcher. 20th all-time for OPS as a catcher. 24th all-time slugging by a catcher.
As a catcher.
26th all-time, still to this day.
Yep.
26th all-time hits by a catcher.
Now, when did he play? 1979 or what? Yeah. When the catcher job was to catch the ball. You go back and you look at all the catches in the 70s and 80s.
68 to 79.
Okay, 68 to 79. So that's the entire 70s. You go back and you look at all the catchers who played then.
Very good, buddy.
And you can come up with like 3 guys who mattered in the entire 70s. It's like shortstop 20 years ago. Let me give a fuck about a shortstop. Ozzie Guillen, the Wizard of Oz. That was it. Before that, did you care? Nobody cared. Shortstop was useless.
Roy Smalley.
Roy Smalls. Roy
Smalley.
Okay.
Getting back to Thurman here. His career highlights: 7-time All-Star.
Yeah, 7 times.
2-time World Series champion.
2.
AL MVP.
That's
AL Rookie of the Year.
Yes, already. I don't have enough.
Three-time Gold Glove.
I don't even have enough fingers to count. Let me take my shoes off.
New York Yankees captain.
Take my shoes off, and that's an honor to be a Yankee captain.
And New York Yankee number 15 retired, and a monument in Monument Park.
Yeah. Still not in the Hall of Fame.
Not in the Hall of Fame. And he can't get in from what you're saying to me.
No, he can't get in unless they come up with the 50 years after he's dead, honorary indictment, or I know that's not the word. Honorary. It was a joke. See, I wanted to laugh. I totally wanted to laugh there. Honorary induction, like they do with umpires and fucking ball boys, sportscasters, sports writers. I mean, those people get in the Baseball Hall of Fame. They're honorarily inducted after they're dead. There's an entire list of honorary inductees. We only pay attention to what's on the ballots.
Yep.
But there's a lot of shit. I mean, Steinbrenner's never on a ballot. He's in the Hall of Fame. Casey Stengel. Not put in because of his... maybe he was put in because of his baseball career, but more so as a manager. I mean, Casey Stengel.
Well, I never knew that. His locker stayed exactly where it was, right next to Derek Jeter's
locker. Never left.
Until 2008 when they closed the old stadium.
And moved it and put it in the museum. We saw it. Yeah, I could tell you this story. Yeah. His locker went untouched. Untouched. The candy that was in his locker rotted. The ants ate it. They didn't touch it. No Jujubes left in the box. No Mike and Ike's. Whatever the fuck it was he liked, M&M's. That box is now empty because the ants came in and ate it all. But they ain't going to touch it. A mouse could have shit all over it, and they ain't going to touch it. It has gone untouched, or did up until that point. Yeah, until they closed the old stadium. And then it went into the museum. They took it out in one piece. We saw it. Boom, and put it right back in.
Yep.
Covered it up. Made sure nothing moved. Didn't take anything out of it. Transported it in fucking vacuum seal so nothing could move, and put it back in the museum.
Yep.
Yeah, cool as fuck. But not in the Hall of Fame. Don't give me the Pete Rose bullshit either. You want to start with Pete Rose, and he cheated. He bet on his own fucking team, which means you could throw the outcome of a game. Whether or not he did, it doesn't matter. He could have. Bye-bye Hall of Fame. And if you're going to pull that shit with fucking the Hit King, 4,192 hits, probably something that'll never be beaten. Talk to me about Shoeless Joe Jackson. That's all I have to say. Shoeless Joe. Don't give me the Barry Bonds, steroid era, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. And for all those people out there with the Ken Griffey bullshit, the dude was never the same once he ate the fucking wall in center field and broke his wrist.
Truth.
Okay? Oh, Barry Bonds wouldn't have all those home runs if Ken Griffey... No, Ken Griffey Jr. lost his edge when he hit the fucking wall. Go look at the 3 years he played after that. His numbers were in the shitter. Errors, couldn't catch, couldn't field, was afraid of the ball, afraid of the wall. Bat swing was totally off, wrist still fucked up.
Yep.
I mean, call a spade a spade. Don't compare two people unless you know who the fuck you're talking about. Heart. He had heart.
No, you don't say. You said don't call a spade a spade. I said heart.
Oh, okay. I missed the joke. Sorry. I'll give you points later.
Bing, bing.
Only if I can stop the ding, ding, ding. So it only gets like ding and a half.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't care.
But it's funny, all this shit comes out, and then you get all these people talking across social media, and you're starting to read half this shit, and you're thinking to yourself, do these people fucking know anything? Or is this just a comment coming from fucking some 22-year-old who likes baseball now? Has no idea what the sport heralded or brought before that. Kind of like football. See a lot of fans who maybe just don't have the back knowledge on it.
Only know the last 17 years.
Yeah, last 10, their lifetime. Never took the opportunity to go back and maybe understand how the game is changing, how the game has changed, how it's changing in front of your fucking face. I don't even think people still understand that. All these sports are changing right in front of your face.
Yep.
Trying to make it more entertaining. What did Ren say last week?
Well, it's a reminder to us that it is an entertainment business.
Yeah. I mean, it's still entertainment.
Everything's turning into an entertainment business.
Man, it's a sport. It's entertainment.
Agreed.
It's not like
you're ruining the base value of what it is when you overhype it and you inject so much money into it that athletes are no longer looked at for their love of the game, and they don't play the game for the right reasons anymore. They're going out there to collect the big paycheck. Look at the Manny Machado and Harper sweepstakes. $300 million, $30 million a year for 10 years. Who in the world is worth that kind of money?
Who fucking needs it, to be honest?
Well, you're setting up your family for legacies down the road. I get all that. I understand all that. And athletes that play, they say, number one thing to do is go get your money. Football players say it all the time. Boomer Esiason, New York radio.
Well, yeah.
He is a giant advocate of football players. Go get your money now. Because when it's done, it's done. You have nothing to fall back on. Or very little, unless you completed your college after you decided to go into the draft after your sophomore year. And you stayed on like Larry Fitzgerald and completed your education. So after you're done, you have a career in something. Most of these guys
don't. Can you believe they got Larry to stay, man? Can you believe he signed the 1-year deal? I know we weren't going to talk football, but you said Larry when talking about getting out of... Because he's one of the shining points of education through sport, because he did stick with it. Even though he came to the NFL, he promised his mom something, and he completed his degree, even though it was night school and online and all that shit.
Well, I also think he is one of the larger advocates for
getting your education, an athlete getting their education.
To a bunch of rookies, not just in his team, but I think he actually goes and talks to
the athletes. He doesn't even just talk to football players. He talks to athletes about the value of education. If you're going to a professional sport, do not forget your degree. And so, like I said, I still was kind of shocked to hear that he was going to play another season. I figured he was ready to see that team change, and not for anything. It was like what I said about Steve Smith leaving Carolina. I thought was the same reason he needs to leave Arizona. They're so young now that they need to just, they've been given a little bit of guidance. Now they just need to find their own way.
It'll happen. I think he'll play this season, then he'll retire, and he'll move on and become some kind of education advocate somewhere else. Or for the NFL.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. All right, why don't we jump to break? Or do you want to finish your point?
Yeah, let's finish because we can move right off of baseball. My last thought and opinion is one Mr. Curt Schilling.
Okay.
7 years on the ballot now. If I'm not mistaken, this was his 7th year. He's collecting 260 votes. I personally never thought Curt Schilling was Hall of Fame worthy. But you put a Holiday in.
Would you like his highlights?
Oh, his highlights? Go ahead.
6-time All-Star.
Yeah.
3-time World Series champion.
Yep.
World Series MVP.
Yep. Only because of the bloody sock.
NLCS MVP.
Right.
Roberto Clemente Award. 2-time MLB wins leader.
Yeah.
2-time NL strikeout leader.
Yep. Those aren't awards.
Philadelphia Wall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, Philadelphia. Of course. At Philadelphia will put anybody in a Wall of Fame.
And Boston Red Sox Hall of Fame.
20 years in the league. Pitched for the Phillies, Arizona, Boston, Baltimore, Houston. 20 years. Amassed 216 wins. 216.
216, 146. 346.
346 ERA.
And 3,116 strikeouts.
Okay. I give you the top 5 people pitching-wise who have won games and are in the Hall of Fame. Throw them out. These numbers don't matter. Cy Young. Walter Johnson. Grover Alexander. Cleveland Alexander. These guys, 375, 400. Cy Young, 511. That's a time of baseball where they would pitch 2 games in a day.
And they would pitch every day.
Okay. I give you number 6 and down because that's where I think it matters. Warren Spahn. 363 wins. Greg Maddux, 355. Any of these names sound familiar? Yeah, just about to everyone. Roger Clemens, 354. Steve Carlton, 329. You can go on. Nolan Ryan, 324. Don Sutton, 324. Phil Necro, he's in the Hall of Fame too, 318.
The only one on this list that you've read off so far that is not in the Hall of Fame is Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Steroids.
Let me go all the way down to people who have pitched 230 game or 230 wins.
Did your dad really like this player?
Oh,
this
Schilling?
Yeah.
Not really. Not.
I was like, because it just sounds like there's this weird like childhood animosity, like you liking the Yankees, your dad liking the Sox, and this player was one that he talked about a lot. So you're just like, fuck that dude.
No, I look at it this way: you're gonna put a first-time balloter in like Roy Halladay, who, all right, he's got some accolades to his career. Like I said, he's got 7 awards, World Series ring, 2-time Cy Young. I mean, 2-time Cy Young, that's a big deal.
He's got more than 7 awards, bro. 8-time All-Star, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, 2-time MLB wins leader.
That's not an award. That's not an award. That's an accolade.
Pitched
8-time
a perfect
All-Star
game
and a no-hitter in the same season.
Pitched a no-hitter in the same season.
Yes. And he did the no-hitter in postseason.
So that's 10.
That's not an award.
8-time All-Star.
That's 8. 2-time Cy Young. 10.
2-time Cy Young.
It ends right there. Okay,
so there's
10
10
on a mediocre career. Sorry. What's Curt Schilling?
203 and 105, 3.38 ERA, and 2,117 strikeouts. How is that in a mediocre career?
How many wins?
203.
203. Curt Schilling, 7 years on the ballot.
To 105. He almost has a 500 win rate.
Okay. I'm sorry. Curt Schilling, career 597 win percentage. 216 wins, 146 losses for a .597 with a 3.46 ERA. If you're going to put someone in like Halladay, first ballot, then why is Curt Schilling 7 years on this list? Why is Andy Pettitte, first year, not in the Hall? Why?
Go talk to the Baseball Writers of America and get your answers.
Because you need to leave your emotions out of it. Curt Schilling is a shitty individual as a human fucking being. We all know this from all the shit he spewed after leaving baseball on ESPN, MLB Channel, the newspapers. We heard it all. We know. 6-time All-Star.
Anybody who would listen in a bar.
Yeah. 6-time All-Star. 3-time world champion. World Series MVP.
Well, he
National League MVP.
He kind of put himself in a different class when he got involved in politics.
Leave it out. Has nothing to do with it. The guy's whip is 1.137.
That's a great whip.
That's fucking insane career-wise. I don't like... Oh, by the way, I think he's on the list for like top 15 most innings pitched ever. I think he's top 15. I mean, he's only pitched 3,200 innings in 20 years. Granted, the 216 wins, I mean, that turns me off. I'm looking at the numbers. I don't care what kind of human being you are. Barry Bonds a piece of shit, too.
Well, that's the problem with all of these Hall of Fames is that they... So much is open to interpretation and...
Morality
comes into play.
Morality and character of these players does come into play when you sit in a room with somebody and get down to brass tacks. That conversation will come in to really buck at it.
But the fact of the matter is, and I think this is the point where Webby's trying to get to, is if you look at these people based on their achievements
merit,
in sport,
just merit in the sport
alone,
you're
being measured on, because when you're going into the Hall of Fame,
what the Hall of
you're
Fame
not going.
is.
You're not going into the Hall of Fame whether or not you were a saint or a devil.
Right.
You're not going in the Hall of Fame whether or not you're an asshat or the greatest guy on the planet. You're
Okay.
going into the Hall based upon the metrics that you put up over your career.
But that was the world you grew up in, and this is not where we are in society now.
Yep.
Now you are purely judged on your character, whether or not you're a good director, whether or not you're a good this, whether or not you're a good that, whether or not all of that is based on what kind of person is he? Not what kind of athlete.
The funny thing is and here's where the bottom falls out of your argument. When you look at a comedian, you don't go look at that comedian and go, you're an asshole. You go and look at that comedian and you take him for the face value of, are you funny and can you make me laugh?
Actually, no, that's not true either, because if he's caught saying any of the things that are out of the character of what groups consider funny, he's morally tarnished and is driven out of the limelight. So
but you're putting that into a group sense, not into a personal sense. And these are individuals, not a group of people. Each one of these people making a vote for Baseball Hall of Fame is an individual placing their own ballot. So a comedian, before you know anything, 9 times out of 10, hey, you want to go to a comedy club? Yeah, I'll go to a comedy club. Are you going to go look up the guy on Wikipedia to go and say, has he done anything morally wrong? No, you're going to go and go, he's a funny comedian.
No, you're gonna go.
You might go and
you're gonna go to the comedy club, and you may see who it actually is on stage. And if you know of that person already, you've already decided you either weren't going. I mean, if it's somebody you know and they tell a really shitty joke, you may get up and leave the comedy club, and that's on individual merit. If he says something that is out of the way, if you were there the night that old boy screamed the N-word at a patron that was heckling him.
Oh, yeah. What's his face?
You may have walked out that night if you never knew anything from him before that point.
Fair point.
Last thing I'll bring up as we close out this pitcher's discussion. 26 years as a pitcher. 26 years. 288 wins, 231 losses. That's a .555 win percentage. 3.34 career, 26 years, 3.34 ERA. Well over 4,700 innings pitched.
Our point was you don't have to argue the stats for this man. We understand on merit alone he's probably due the time.
Only 4 times. No accolades.
Unfortunately for him, he has come along during a time where merit alone doesn't get the job done. And he will sit until the perspective changes, which is also the same reason why steroids ain't made the Hall yet.
And once that happens, it's just there goes all basis of anything.
All morals in baseball are shot to shit if that happens. But that's the one thing you got to remember. That's also been a very important part that everybody has always said about a lot of these guys, except for what you don't know about the individuals in the past, is the merit of the people, not just in the sport. Baseball's always kind of held its chest up to say that it was a proper sport. It's why they put their foot down on Pete Rose. It's why they put their foot down on steroids the way they did in the public view. It's why all of that happened, is because they're like, no. Baseball is above that.
Yep. 26 years, 288 wins, 231 losses, 3.34 ERA. Pitched 760 games. Started 700 of those. Actually has 3 games as a save in his career. 4,710 innings pitched, 2,245 strikeouts, which means 1 every 2 innings, with a whip of 1.283. Has a famous surgery named after him and is not in the Hall of Fame.
Has this famous surgery.
Tommy John.
Tommy John.
Yep, Tommy John surgery.
But you can put a guy who died in the middle of the ocean. Why? Because they couldn't find his body and the fish ate him?
I can't help you with that.
This is such a wrong argument for me to even want to get involved in.
How can you argue it?
Deserves the Hall of Fame.
Like,
no doubt.
Unless you go and interview everybody that put a yay vote up for this guy as a first balloter, and say, why?
363
Tell
people.
me why he belongs in there when Curt Schilling doesn't, and why you voted yes for Roy Halladay.
Oh, I've got your answer.
No for Curt Schilling.
I've got your answer because it was posthumously in memoriam. Is the heartstrings to put the ballot together guaranteed the yay, and it was a different time where that vote was put forward, which is what propelled him ahead because of the in memoriam. That's the answer. I voted because he's would have been. I feel he would have been so much more. It was a great loss to the sport. We put him in on the merit that he had already started to achieve and was denied. And that's what you're going to get.
Retired. So the question is, if he was still alive today,
but that's
in the first ballot Hall of Famer.
I still love seeing the Joe Montana arguments against how the hell is still Tom Brady any better than he is, because he only went to 4. He owned all 4 of them. He went with no rules that were in his favor or in the favor of his receivers.
Through no interceptions.
He was what we should still call the GOAT. When you look at it in that era of football, Tom Brady would have got crushed.
That's what somebody said on Twitter or some shit.
It's the truth, though. You know it. He would have been demolished during an era of Montana or even Steve Young football. So to try and like go, oh, well, what would people think now? Well, now is a different time than then was. These guys don't even look. Some of those writers probably quit writing since then. Some of these votes that got there aren't the same opinions that were there then. So to compare those timelines and be like, oh, yeah, in 2003, the way those people voted, would they still feel the same way today? No, probably not.
Okay.
All right. I'll buy that.
Could definitely buy that.
You want to burn this break or you want to take a break?
No, we'll take a break. We can burn it. It's not.
It's literally 8:43, bro.
We can burn this break. Only 136 people completed a full ballot.
Okay.
See, those people, all the people on their list are the ones that deserve to be in the hall. All the other votes should be throw out. And see, if you can't fill out an entire ballot,
they're probably the purest.
If you can't fill out a ballot, don't fill out the ballot.
Looking at this at metrics, and I go, these are the 5 guys that I want. These are the only 5 guys I care about. And all you other guys don't care. But how shy of a ballot are they? Do you have that kind of metric?
Yeah, because that metric would be important. If it's like just...
like, is it 93.7% completed? Or is it like, yeah, they completed 13% of the ballot?
21 people completed. Nope, sorry. Where'd it go? I just lost. Here it is. 136, 10 players, 28, 9, 27, 8, 13, 7, 21, 6, 18, 5, and then it drops off to 3, 5, 2, 1, and then blank ballots were none this year. Somebody submitted 1 player and 1 player only on a ballot.
And that would be Mariano Rivera.
No, he's not allowed to vote.
No,
that would be the only. That would be the one player.
Mariano Rivera.
Yes. Yeah, which is.
That's how you get a unanimous vote.
I mean, you got a ballot with 20-something people on it. You have the option of picking 10, and you choose 1. Is this your first time voting?
All right. Well, all right. We can shift off this. I have. So we've talked about over the course of our show, we, as all of our listeners know, and all of our Facebook people, we are beer people.
Beer.
We love beer. We make beer. We brew beer. We drink beer. Beer is lifeblood. We got.
I'm not wearing mine, am I?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. And mine's sitting right behind me.
Right behind you.
Yeah, actually, his Instagram's been lit here lately too. So.
Yeah. So. In Iceland,
where it's warm, not cold.
In Iceland, it is home to the world's first ever beer spa.
Spa of the beer.
And it's just as amazing as it sounds.
As the beer hotel that I mentioned that has the beer fridge in.
This is where I was going with this. Like you have the beer tap in the shower.
Yeah, in the shower with the beer fridge right outside of it. Yes.
All right. No. This, you can go sit in a hot tub of beer and soak all of your daily woes away.
As long as I don't have to drink it later.
No, you don't have to drink it. It'll cost you, if anybody has a conversion to get me American dollars, that would be amazing. I did not do that conversion. It'll cost you 6,900 kroner for an hour. Or if you're brave, you could go with someone else, and it'll cost you $1,300, 13,000 kroner. And if you're even more adventurous, you can go sit in one of their outdoor group tubs.
I'm out. You said group tub.
Not group tug, group tub.
Not a group tug?
Not a group tug,
okay.
A group tub.
Okay.
And this is at a brewery/eatery.
That's not bad. 2 people, that is $1,432.16.
13,000 kroner is $1,000.
Yes.
Wow. So $500 to go get yourself a soak in a tub of beer. Would you pay that? That's the next.
No, question. that's $700 a person. It's $1,400 for 2. 13,000, 1,400 for 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
That exchange rate is crazy. If I'll send you all this.
You look at the first number and you go, man, that's insane. And then you look at how much it actually costs. You go, oh, that's really not that bad. But it's the same thing when you deal with like yen too. Like when you go into a place and they're like, that'll be 500,000 yen. You're like, holy shit. They're like, what? It's only like $2. It's like, oh, okay.
Do I have that here?
Holy shit. Roger Clemens is the only guy not in the Hall of Fame with 300 plus more wins.
Yes.
Anybody else who got 300 wins is instant in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, no, your math is off, bro. Icelandic kroner, 6,700 is $55.76.
13,000. I did Swedish kroner is what I got.
Oh, that's Swedish.
That's Swedish.
Sweden.
Icelandic kroner, 13,000 equals $108.19.
Look, even
20 cents.
Even the Vikings knew they had to get the fuck out of there. Can't make no money.
All right, so $50 to go soak for an hour in some beer.
I would need to know that it's fresh beer.
It is fresh beer. I just sent you the article. You can go read it yourself.
No, I don't want to read it. Because if I'm sitting in it and I decide to drink it, I want to know it's my urine I'm drinking and nobody else's. Because, you're in a tub, you got to pee. You're going to pee in it. You know it. It's going to happen.
God, that number still got even worse, though.
No, 69 Icelandic kroner. Yeah. ISK, Icelandic kroner.
Uh-huh.
6,700 is $55.76.
13,000 is 108. I'm staying. That conversion rate is still like drastic.
No, that conversion rate's amazing for an American.
You're talking 2 people, that's why, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're doing the math on 2 people.
The 13,000. Yeah. That's only $108. That's ridiculous.
Right.
that's ridiculously cheap to go sit in. I mean, when you click on the link and you see the size of these tubs, that's like 5 barrels of beer.
Think about what your bar tab must be in Iceland.
It's cheap to drink.
No, you're going to be given a stupid fucking number that you're not even remotely prepared for. Is what's going to happen.
1,400,000 kroner.
You have that $200 bar tab night, and they come back and tell you 26,000 kroner. You're gonna flip your shit because you're an American. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck is 30? What?
81, 171. So that's what?
I'll call it 190 even with
okay.
22,828.5 kroner.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine that's the numbers that sit down in front of your drunk ass at
like Mexico
at 1 o'clock in the morning. And you're looking at the numbers and you're going
like Mexico. When I went down to Mexico, it was way back in the day. It was like 3 pesos or 3,000 pesos for every dollar.
190 US dollars is 3,614 Mexican pesos.
Okay.
Yeah. So you look at those numbers completely.
It used to be like 3 to 1 when I was down there.
You look at those numbers and you're just like, what the fuck? Because the number to you is very unfamiliar looking. It's just big.
Yeah, I'm in a cab. I want to go to fucking the other side of Mexico. And guys like, well, it's like 21 billion fucking pesos. I'm like, what? How much is that? Because I only have American money.
Oh, we'll take that too. $5, friend.
How much is that? Well, it's $26. 26.
Hey, our bar tab was only 12,500 rubles.
Why you gotta use that last name? I'm sorry. Name. Word. Period. Ruble. Thanks. Blast from the past. Appreciate that.
Could have been rupees.
The Swedish franc.
It's actually almost even.
Well, that dollar's worth something. Ours ain't worth shit. Well, I guess that
euro, that'd be 167 euro. That doesn't work out well for us.
No, well,
I just thought it was interesting because you can go there, you can go soak in the beer, you can try all
the
different beers.
You can drink it right out of the tub.
I don't know if I would necessarily do that.
They didn't say that you get like a fresh tub that is prepared just for you every time.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say. A range of options are available with a single tub hour session, priced at 6,900 kroner, while anyone looking to partner up can fork out 13,000 kroner for a double.
Yeah, $108.
The more adventurous among you may even fancy soaking it up in one of the venue's various outside tubs. These offer holidaymakers the chance to take advantage of the breathtaking views of the Purvalds Valley while getting totally pissed drunk.
My thing is I'm almost willing to bet that they get you so drunk off some other shit that they start selling you your tub eventually.
Well, Joe went to Iceland for a vacation, and for the longest time they had prohibition. And all of their beer was non-alcoholic beer, but they had this one specific alcohol. We tried it when we were there, and it is the most god-awful thing you could ever possibly imagine.
It's worse than grappa.
Seriously.
Worse than Ozo.
And what they used to do was they'd brew the beer, and then all of a sudden they'd basically do car bombs. Drop a shot of this into the beer to make the beer alcoholic and make it that more palatable.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, that's kind of how they rolled with it. But now now
they're dropping you in their unalcoholic beer.
Have you had any of the Einstocks? The Einstock beer?
No.
EINSTOCK?
Can't say whether I have.
See if you can find them down there. They don't do big IPA beers. It's like an Icelandic white. It's a lager.
You'll find it right on the shelf next to Du Hast. And in case you don't know where that's from, that's Misch. That's the brewing company. The beer is called Du Hast, and the brewing company is Misch.
And who is it named after?
No.
Rammstein.
Oh, of course.
Rammstein.
Du Hast, man.
Du hast mich.
Yo, speaking of music, and we'll run the break on this one.
All right, cool.
Weezer supposed to drop a new album come like March. Well, they snuck out an album yesterday.
Whoops.
Yeah, they dropped one yesterday, the Teal album. It's all covers. The entire album is covers, and there are some dynamite fucking tracks on it. Of course, you know Toto Africa is on it because that's been their new thing, which the internet has taken by storm. Right. For some reason, that song is just a great song, I guess. Not sure. But Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Sweet Dreams are made of this. Take On Me by Aha, Happy Together. We're so happy together. Who's that by? The Turtles? Yes, the Turtles. Paranoid, Black Sabbath. Mr. Blue Sky, ELO. No Scrubs, TLC. Billie Jean, Michael Jackson. And Stand By Me, which is Sam Cooke. Am I right? Anyone? Bueller? Stand By Me, Sam Cooke.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got him right. So I got them all. Everybody Wants to Rule the World is Tears for Fears. Yeah, interesting album. Check it out. It's gone viral.
They did No Scrubs too?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.